You today to spend a lot of time thinking and processing and talking. We are here to have a little conversation and answer some questions, but I'm going to pass it over to Governor Whitmer. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your leadership yesterday and how much my heart goes out to everything that you and your family and all of the families involved and the Jewish community writ large are going through. I wanted to come today for a briefing, which we just concluded, to get up to speed on where things stand. I want to thank our state and local law enforcement, the first responders, our federal partners for their swift work to keep people safe and to investigate. I want to thank Temple Israel's security personnel. They were selfless in their courage and they saved lives. These heroes threw themselves in harm's way, engaging the suspect, and let's be very clear, yes, this is a place of worship, but at the time that this attack was occurred, it was a school. 104 children, age 5 and younger here. So I want to thank all of Temple Israel's staff who acted quickly to evacuate students and reunite families. The state of Michigan will wrap our arms around this community and support our local and federal partners every step of the way to keep people safe. I want to share prayers from my colleague, Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. Josh reached out yesterday to check in and see how people were doing. And I want Michigan's Jewish community to know that we are with you. Violence in our houses of worship and in our schools and in our daycare centers like this hits especially hard. Temple Israel is a pillar of the community. It's one of the largest Reformed Jewish congregations in North America, with Friday night Shabbat services attracting over 1,000 people. People celebrate bar and bat mitzvahs, weddings, and holidays here. Parents bring their children to daycare and school, and it's a place of peace, unity, light, and life. Yesterday's attack was anti-Semitism. It was hate, plain and simple. We will fight this ancient and rampant evil. We will stand together as we do it, and we will call it out. We must lower the rhetoric in this state and in this country, especially at this moment where we've seen such a rise in anti-Semitism and more attacks on the Jewish community. We must keep each other close. This community is on the edge, very understandably. We've seen a rise in attacks, especially over the last decade, especially over the last 10 months. And so it is important for us to stand up, to stand against it, and to thank the people who showed up to support the community, but also call out where we see acts of anti-Semitism, where we see threats, where we see something, how important it is to say something, and to recognize that each of us has a responsibility. People like the person that attacked this community yesterday get fomented by rhetoric that they see online and that they see on television and they hear on the radio. It radicalizes people and it endangers our fellow Michiganders. We cannot let this continue. And so each of us has a duty to take action where and how we can. And with that, I'll hand it over to Senator Slotkin, and then we'll take a couple of questions.
Thank you, Governor. And just want to reiterate, I think it's clear that if it were not for the private security and the staff at Temple Israel, and then the first responders, first on the scene, local law enforcement, if they had not all done their jobs almost perfectly, we would be talking about an immense tragedy here today with children gone. This could have been much, much worse. So I give incredible credit to law enforcement and the people who were in the room, putting themselves and their own families at risk. I think, the governor said it very, very well on the way this community has responded. It's been incredible to watch neighbors in the community here, both organizations and just regular old citizens open up their homes literally yesterday to help care for people who were fleeing from this. And this is a place that I have a very personal connection to. I feel I've spent a lot of my time growing up in and out of this temple, and I feel just an immense amount of pain, as does the rest of the community, that incidents like this even happen. And I think it's just important to be clear, as the governor said, that whether anti-Semitism is coming from the left or the right, whether it's coming from some group that you like or don't like, you have a responsibility to call it out. Because when you don't, it gives permission for people to climb that escalation, that ladder of escalation that goes from saying hateful things online to saying them in person to graffiti to ultimately violence. And the Jewish community suffers 10 times the number of hate crimes than any other community in this country. So it is an epidemic. And until we push back on that permission, we're going to see incidents like this continue to proliferate. The Jewish community spends over $1 billion across the country securing their houses of worship, their schools, their institutions. No community in America should be fearful of having their own kind congregate for things like education and worship. So I stand here proud of the community, but angry that we even are put in this position. Thankful to law enforcement, but asking the average citizen out there, if you have a friend, a colleague, coworkers who are using anti-Semitism in their daily life and feel like it's just normal, please call that out wherever you see it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jonathan Morshay. I'm the Township Supervisor here in West Bloomfield. For those of you unfamiliar with township government in Michigan, my position's like the mayor of a city, elected by the voters, but I'll stop the civics lesson. I think it's fair to say that none of us went to bed Wednesday expecting to wake up Thursday's events. But thanks to the preparation and training of Temple Israel's security team and the West Bloomfield Police Department, the unexpected did not turn into tragedy. Yesterday's incident at Temple Israel is deeply concerning for everyone in West Bloomfield, Michigan, across the country, as well as Jews everywhere. I live in West Bloomfield, and my wife and I are members of Temple Israel, so I have a keen understanding of the effects on the community. We are thankful for the courage and professionalism of our first responders and our partner agencies who move to protect lives and work towards stabilizing the scene. Our thoughts are with all members of Temple Israel and their families. No community should ever feel unsafe gathering in a house of worship or sending their children to school. I want to thank all the officials, colleagues, and members of the public who have reached out to me in solidarity. I would also like to thank the Shenandoah Country Club for hosting the Operations Center and being the site where the preschoolers and parents were reunited. Shenandoah is a wonderful community partner, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. We'll continue to work closely with law enforcement and community leaders as more information comes available. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Happy to open it up for a few questions. Yes.
Is there any indication that the suspect may have expressed his intent or motive, whether online or to a loved one, what they planned to do yesterday?
I appreciate the importance of your question. I am not the appropriate person to answer that. We'll have to defer to the FBI as there's an ongoing investigation. Yeah, Joe.
Governor, do you think this happened because of the conflict in Iran?
I'm not putting my theories into the press is not going to help an investigation, so I'm going to refrain from that. I do know that we have seen a rise in anti-Semitism. We have seen it over many years, predating the conflict, but certainly it is at a historic high, and I worry that that will continue. And so it's why I am calling on anyone with a platform to be very responsible with their rhetoric, not to identify or target the Jewish community. That is anti-Semitism writ large, and I don't think that any of us should permit or allow that to stand. And that's why I'm asking people to turn down the rhetoric.
Governor, on that note, Josh Lennon, Fox 2 Detroit, we have a very diverse community, Jewish, Arab, and so on and so on. When it comes to lowering the temperature, because we talk to each other, we work together, we build families amongst each other, what's the message you can deliver to help lower the temperature?
I think I'm trying to deliver that message right now, that we are Michiganders. This was a school. These are 0 to 5-year-olds that were targeted yesterday, 104. My friend Brian said this could have looked a lot more like Sandy Hook, right? Like, let's not lose sight of that. This is not a political moment. This is not a political debate. This is targeting babies who are Jewish. That's anti-Semitism at its absolute worst. And that's why we cannot lose sight of that, the importance of keeping everyone in Michigan safe by being responsible in how we talk about issues and how we treat one another.
One last question. Are members of the Jewish community in Michigan safe right now to be going to synagogue?
You know what, I will defer to Stephen. Well, I can tell you that I believe that there are so many wonderful people who are planning to have Shabbat services and dinner this evening. I will work my hardest to make sure that we're supplementing efforts to keep people safe. At the same time, in combination with that, turning down the rhetoric to keep these instances from happening, being able to respond when they do, but keeping them from happening in the first place is a part of our duty and our goal. Do you want to address that?
I would simply say that private security is ready, and our partners in law enforcement, both state, local, and federal, are ready to do it, and we will be there. Like I said yesterday, we will continue to live proud Jewish lives. We will come back stronger, and we will be there tonight on Shabbat services and tomorrow morning. That will not stop. That will not end. No matter how much they try, that will not stop us.
Senator Slack and John Wisely from the Free Press, can you address the Department of Homeland Security is not fully funded right now. Do you fear that leaves us less prepared for incidents like these than we should?
Yeah, I would just say the department, because they are essential workers, they have been, at work. Certainly in Michigan, we have a ton of DHS folks, CBP, and so they are on the call and they are doing their jobs. Certainly, we need to fund the Department of Homeland Security, and we need, in my view, to cut away all the conversation on ICE, which is its own conversation, from all the core missions of the Department of Homeland Security. But they're essential, they're on the job, they're working today.
A question.
I don't want governors.
Go ahead, one last one.
Seeing Jake Schaaf, Civic Center TV, seeing the response from West Bloomfield and the resilience of our law enforcement, what do you think this showcases to the state of Michigan and the rest of the United States?
Well, I'll just say it was incredible how the teachers and the staff, how the local law enforcement, federal agencies, state agencies all worked together quickly, acted selflessly. I know they're trained to do that, and they don't even like it when you thank them for doing their jobs, but it's incredible to see people run to the fire to help kids get out, and everyone got home last night. There are a couple people, or a number of people, that had to go to the hospital for smoke inhalation, and will continue to improve, but I think that it was amazing to see that they were able to keep everyone safe at the end of the day, and it should be a source of pride. It should also be a moment of reflection where we all ask ourselves, why does this happen in this country, and what can we each do to keep it from happening in the future? And with that, I thank you all. Take care, stay safe, and should you have questions, more specific questions, please direct them to FBI and law enforcement. Thank you so much.